Okay.
Assalamualaikum, madam. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to Madam Zarik Sofia. Today we are going to be presenting our Assessment 1 and Assessment 2 presentation, which is the topic is SPM Achievement of Malaysian Student, presented by me, Nur Alia Natasya binti Suini, and my partner.
Nur Alish Amalin binti Muhammad Samsulhuda. Okay.
Okay. So for this assessment, we choose two charts, which is the first one is bar graph and the second one is the single line graph. And both of these chart have their own purposes. The first graph, which is the bar graph, the purpose is to analyze the percentage of student in difference result category. And the second graph, which is the single line graph, the purpose is to identify the percentage of SPM grades by subject.
Okay, so for the introduction, Malaysian students have shown excellent achievement every year in the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM examination. Each year, the result is not reflect only on the individual achievement but also the overall standards of education in Malaysia.
Why did we choose this topic? Okay, first of all, I think all of us have this in common, which is all of us have taken SPM before. And as for me and my partner, both of us have taken our SPM examination in 2022. However, both of us received very different results. For example, for Malaysian language subject, I got A. However, my partner got B plus. So that's shown a very different spectrum of result.
Okay. So let's move to the background of the topic. From what we all know, Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM is an examination set by all Form 5 secondary students in Malaysia. And all Malaysian students must take this exam because it serves as a minimum requirements to further studies or to higher education in Malaysia. And most of the students' achievement in SPM are influenced by some factors that are teaching quality, study habits, and family support.
So this whole assessment is centered around the idea of the result that were achieved by Malaysian student in SPM examination, and we mainly focuses on um, 3 years span, which is 2021 to 2023. This result, we want to know the SPM result that changed the trajectory of Malaysian youth. So we move on to the first chart, which is the bar graph. And this bar graph was taken from the Examination Syndicate Ministry of Education and is shown an increase in Malaysian student SPM result in 2022 compared to 2021. And as you can see from the graph, the most highlighted data from this graph is the first one, student who achieve higher performance level in 2022 versus 2021. In all ACE category, credit and past, all of these three categories, the students in 2022 achieved more excellently than 2021 student. For example, OA student in 2022 increased by 0.2% from 2.5% to 2.7%, contrary to student who failed at least one subject in 2022 is also higher by 1.1%. This shown a very wide gap, the gap between an excellent student and the student who got bad grades widened from 2022 compared to 2021. Why has this happened? From my research, I found out this happened commonly in the suburban area student most of them tend to get bad results compared to the student who live in the city area. I personally think this is mainly because of the teaching quality and also the economic background of the students.
Okay, move to the second graph. Our second graph is a single line graph. This single line graph was taken from a website called Alia 2022. This single line graph shows a percentage distribution of SPM grades across 6 core subjects that are Bahasa Malaysia, English, Mathematics, Pendidikan Islam, History, and Science. Um, for this graph, we can see that most of the subject got highest percentage that are 20% and above in A range grade, and it dropped significantly to B plus, and uh, and stay maintained to C grades. And there are also a clear difference in for this graph. We can see that mathematics has the higher percentage for G grade, the lower grade compared to other subjects, and Bahasa Malaysia and English show more balance compared to shows more balanced distribution across grades, and Pendidikan Islam has a higher percentage for A grades compared to lower grades. And lastly, Science and History stay consistent from B to C grades. Overall, students tend to perform better in most of the subject at higher grades, but mathematics shows weaker performance at the lower end. This shows that students might find mathematics more challenging.
So, what we can conclude from this topic, the first conclusion that me and my partner comes up with is Malaysian students are academically advanced and achieve significant result in national exam such as SPM. However, there are still a significant number of students who fail this exam that should be focuses on by the government. And the second conclusion that we comes up with, results achieved by students in STEM subjects are also worrying and should not be overlooked by the Ministry of Education. That's all from us, madam. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much, Nur Alish Amalin and Alia Natasha.
Yeah.
Good presentation, good slides from you. Bye bye.
Bye
Don't forget your attendance
bye.
teacher.